I'm Corbett Wall with DV Auction, here with your feeder flash for Tuesday, May the 23rd. Had a nice friendly Monday, which is nice because the board didn't open up down the limit, or didn't open up the limit, which is almost as scary as when it goes down, because you know things are going to be real volatile. The board was supportive. You look at live cattle futures, the August contract was up almost $1. You get further than that out front, and nice gains from $1.30 up to $1.70. Feeder cattle contracts there rose well over $2, almost all of them, except for the spot May, which is just trying to stay in line with what cash is, or what the CME feeder cattle index is. You look at your real-time index on Beef Market Central. Now that is for Monday sales, which your CME index is always running a day or two behind. But for Monday sales, late Monday there, it's sitting at 142.73 based on an 800-pound steer. That's up just 3 cents from where it ended the week last week, which is kind of a nice sign that things are kind of settling down a little bit. Saw a little bit of a gain. There's a lot of sales on Monday, but we're not seeing as big a runs as what we saw, and things are just starting to dwindle down a little bit. These Monday sales here wouldn't have been this big if we weren't going to have a Monday Memorial Day holiday next Monday, so a lot of your Monday sales will be closed next week. So actually this Monday's high volume auctions were a little bit inflated, and they weren't all that high really. You look at last week's fat cattle trade, the summary of it, in the 5 area feeding region, they sold just short of 75,000 head, which is a good movement. But when the market's down, we've been seeing that haven't been seeing these huge movements, and when the market's up, we've been seeing giant movements, well over 100,000 head in the 5 areas, which is good, and that's smart for your feeder cattle guys. You look at your live sales, they averaged on steers 134.26. That was down $3.02, but that's not horrible, you know. We've sure seen gains and losses bigger than that here in the last several weeks. Your dressed steers averaged 212.62, down 7.71, and the range on the loss from your price spreads there was $9 to $14 lower, so that weighted average is not too bad. And remember, a lot of those 212s were FOB, so there are actually more dollars in the pockets of those feedlots, so you could chop that 771 loss down quite a bit. But you look at some feeder cattle markets on Monday. Oklahoma City had 6,000 head. Feeder cattle called $2 to $5 higher. Nice gain there. We knew they would probably be some higher because we saw some big gains in the late week sales last week. Calves not well tested. Joplin also 6,000 head. Market was called unevenly steady, and looking at the prices, it was really hard to try to pin down a trend there. But it didn't look like the losers were gaining any more than the gainers. So that just a good market there. I talked to a guy or two there that was at Callaway Livestock there in Kingdom City, Missouri, right near Columbia, right in the middle of the state of Missouri there. And that is really getting to be a big sale. They had over 2,000 head, which is a decent run for this time of year anywhere. They had a good market there. Hard to pin down calling it much higher, but did talk to some buyers there that went to the sale thinking that they were going to get some calves bought and be able to send some people some cattle, and got there and found out that they didn't have near enough money to play. Your pure hedgers were kind of quiet and dead, but these farmer feeders and the guys that have the orders for the farmer feeders, they have got all the money, and they are really pushing this market, and it's causing some of your other regular feedlot buyers to buy cattle that they normally wouldn't buy, because you know, last week they got knocked out on all the cattle that they wanted, and they can't let that happen very many times, because you got a big feedlot guy told me one time, he said those feedlots are just motels. You can't run them profitably with empty pens or empty rooms, so got to keep digging and buying those. But that's your feeder flash for Tuesday.